Alright, welcome back everybody. My name is Edgar Alvarez. I'm currently a San Jose State University student. I'm a kin major, mainly focusing on rehab science, hoping to go to PT school pretty soon and become a physical therapist. And so this is my third video in my little series I'm having right now about physical movement and its importance. And I'll be talking about strength training. And if you guys haven't checked out my first two videos, my first video I talk about just the overall benefit of being physically active. And my second video, I just talk about the importance of a proper warm-up and cool-down and the difference between dynamic stretching and static stretching. If you guys want to check out those videos, I'll link them in the bio. And yeah. So for this video, I'd like to start off with talking about what is strength training. Strength training is muscle strengthening activities that are repeated muscle actions against a body weight for resistance or external weight. And body weight exercises can be used for strength training, such as push-ups and sit-ups, so you don't necessarily need any equipment. But if you have some equipment available, it can be very beneficial to use too. And some equipment that can be used for strength training are machines, dumbbells, and barbells. Now I just want to talk about some of the physical benefits that come from strength training. Strength training actually increases muscular strength, power, and bone density. It's been found to be positively associated with high bone mass density for both younger and older adults, and it also helps improve functional abilities like balance and helps the elderly reduce the likelihood of them falling, so it gives them a little bit more independence, and it enhances their movement, it enhances their functional abilities, physical performance, and their walking speed. And strength training can also help maintain muscle during weight loss, because I know a lot of people start losing a little bit of muscle when they're losing weight, either from just not eating enough protein or not incorporating strength training into their exercise. Some of the more physical benefits of strength training include it helps improve chronic low back pain. It's actually been found to be one of the most effective exercises to reducing back pain, and it helps improve a person's physical function and tolerance to the pain. And strength training also lowers the risk of heart disease and diabetes. And this is due to improved glycemic control and insulin resistance. And it also helps lower a person's blood pressure. Strength training actually also helps increase resting metabolic rate, which increases a person's energy expenditure, which just pretty much means muscle mass just burns a lot more calories. So people are actually burning more calories while at rest, and it actually helps them can help them lose some weight. And also it's due to increased energy expenditure is due to training requires a lot more energy from you because you're breaking down a lot of the muscle while you're doing strength training, and it needs to rebuild back. All right, I just want to talk about some of the mental benefits that come, mental health benefits that come from strength training. Like it helps reduce anxiety symptoms, which is good because a lot of people who are with anxiety are more likely to report poor health, poor sleep, mental distress, pain, and activity limitations. It also helps reduce depression symptoms, and it helps increase self-esteem for people, and it helps improve cognitive abilities, and it's actually been found to have the largest effect on memory tests. Strength training also helps improve quality of sleep, especially for people who are depressed, by as much as 30%. So now that we've talked about just some of the benefits that come from strength training, I kind of want to go over how to properly squat, bench, and deadlift, because I know these are the three most common exercises to do at the gym, and I know a lot of people avoid doing these exercises just because they're embarrassed they might not be doing it correctly, or they're scared they might injure themselves for the same thing because they don't have the proper form or anything. So I just want to go over some how to properly squat, bench, and deadlift. And so I'll show you guys how to do some high bar, low bar, and then how to bench and deadlift. And just a reminder for this, when you're first starting to do strength training, try to avoid ego lifting. So pretty much try to avoid lifting as much weight as possible, or just putting too much weight on the bar, just because you don't want to be embarrassed by people looking at you just not doing enough weight. So, but when you first start, you always want to keep in mind you just want to start at a low weight and just try to get your form down. And so yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys how to properly squat, bench, and deadlift. Oh yeah, and also all the information I've used in this presentation, I'll put it in my bio, and so you guys can take a look at those articles if you guys want to read them. Hi everybody, so we're going to talk about squat, bench, and deadlift, and I'm trying to teach you guys how the proper form on how to do those. First, we're gonna talk about the squat, and I'm gonna have my brother here help me show you guys how to squat. And before we even touch the bar or anything, I just want to show you guys how to properly squat, even with your own body weight. So pretty much, you want to keep your feet pointed out at a 30-degree angle, and then you want to keep your chest up when you're going down, and then you want to keep your core tight. And the way you keep your core tight is pretty much just by bringing out your belly. So just making like a big stomach, you know, and then just breathing in. So you want to breathe in, and then just push out through your stomach, and then you want to keep that tightness throughout the whole motion. And then Rico right here is going to show you guys how to do that. So as you can see, you want to keep your legs shoulder width apart, and then toes pointed out at 30 degree. And then when you're going down, you want to make sure you go down slowly and steady, because you don't want to go down at too high of a pace, just because it'll start hurting your knees and cause a lot of knee problems. So toes pointed out, shoulder width apart. You want to keep your chest up, core tight, and then once you go up, you can breathe out again. And then once you're about to go down, you want to make your stomach a little bit bigger again. Down and up, just like that. 2 more, just to show. Like you're doing right here, you want to make sure you go slow and steady. All right. As far as in hand placement on the bar for high bar squats, you pretty much just want to keep it like shoulder width apart, kind of. But so the way you can do this too is just by like measuring out your thumb. Pretty much just put your thumb on the bar on the line right here, and then wherever your palm ends up, that's where you should place your hand for a high bar. And then same thing for the left side. So you just want to put your thumb down, and then wherever your palm ends up, right there should be probably the perfect width for a high bar. And then where you want to like make sure the bar ends up is around like right here, a little bit higher. As the name implies, you want to keep it a little bit higher. And then another tip right now would be keeping the bar at chest height, because it's a little bit easier to unrack like that. All right, guys. So just to summarize all the points we've been through, so how to properly squat, you want to make sure you want to keep your feet at 30 degrees, like pointed out. You want to make sure your legs are at least like shoulder width apart, and then you want to make sure you keep your chest up, core tight. And you can keep your core tight by just bringing out your stomach, just like breathing in, and then just pressing out through your stomach. And you want to hold that tightness throughout the whole motion of the squat. And then, yeah, so just high bar, also just find out where you want to place it, and just keep it a little higher than usual. And then Rico will show you right now a few reps with the high bar squat by bringing all the steps. Sure. Walk out slowly. You don't want to just like go too fast, because then you won't be able to control the weight properly. And then you want to go down slowly. And then notice how he keeps his chest up and keeps his core tight. All right. And same thing for the re-racking. You want to just make sure you go back slowly, and then make sure you control the weight. And then a few more tips, like when you're first starting, make sure you don't put too much weight right away, because if you're not that experienced, you might hurt yourself. And then also just make sure you properly warm up before a squat. Right, so now we're going to talk about how to bench properly. And some of the main points I want to discuss is hand placement. I want to talk about how you should keep your shoulder blades back once you're laying down. And then we're going to keep your core tight also. So same thing as squat and bench. You want to breathe in and then just breathe out, but just keep your stomach tight. And then you want to keep your foot and your legs at a certain spot and not try to move them at all. And then you want to keep your butt down the whole time during the exercise. And then you should try to aim for the bar to go like underneath the chest area, so like a little bit over the stomach too. So like right here is the perfect like spot for like the bar to go when you're bringing it down. And also you just want to make sure when you're benching, you want to keep your elbows in, because if you might hurt yourself if you so now we're just I'm gonna show you how to properly bench. So like I said, you want to make sure you keep your, at least first starting off, you want to make sure you keep your pinky on the ring right here, so that way it's not too narrow and it's not too like wide either when you're first starting. And also when you go down, you want to make sure your shoulder blades stay back, keep them tight, and then you want to make sure your core stays tight as well. So same thing as squatting. You want to take a deep breath and then just hold it in your stomach, okay? And also when you're going down, you want to make sure your eye is level with the bar. That way it's easier to unrack. And then you want to like keep your legs firm down. Make sure you don't move. So like I said, pinky on the ring for both. Bar is eye level. You make sure shoulder blades back. Your core is tight. And then just push the bar over. Unrack the bar. And like I said, you want to make sure the bar is like, try to aim for like a little bit lower than your chest. So when you're going down, you want to make sure slowly too, elbows in. And then just push. Same thing. Everything tight. And push. One more time. And push. And then when you're re-racking the bar, you make sure you go slowly. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about how to properly deadlift, and we're going to be mainly focusing on conventional deadlift and using the double overhand grip, so it's just pretty much both hands facing the same way. And then, so yeah, we're going to have Rika right here show you guys. He's going to be like my prop right now, like how to show you guys how to deadlift. So when you step up to the bar, you want to make sure your legs are shoulder width apart. You want to make sure your shoelaces are right under the bar, so like right between, in the middle of your foot. There. And then once you reach down, it should be your arm length should be pretty much shoulder width apart. So when you're reaching down, it should be like pretty much right there. Like I said, we're doing double overhand grip, which just means both of them facing the same way. Once you grip the bar, you want to bring your shoulder blades back. You want to bring your hips down and forward, and then just lift, just like pretty much like if you're jumping, but without like actually moving your leg. And bring it down slowly. And the same thing. So once you grab it, you want to make sure shoulder blades back, and then you want to bring your hips down a little bit and forward. And then same thing as a squat, you want to make sure you keep your core tight. So bring out the stomach. Yeah. And then same thing here, you want to make sure for your like face, you don't want to make sure your chin's not down the whole time. And then you don't want to overextend your like face, your head either. So you don't want to be looking up too fast either. So you just want to keep your back straight right here. And then we'll do one more. Yep. Just show them the whole thing. All right, so step back again. So we're gonna go over it again. So like I said, you want when you're stepping up the bar, legs should be shoulder width apart. Right, go ahead. Bar should be around your shoelaces in the middle of your foot. Double overhand. You want to reach. Once you grab it, you want to make sure you want to put your shoulder blades back, hip forward and a little bit down, and just pull. Yeah, be as simple as that.